Hola Bandidos, ¿cómo estamos? Welcome to Mel's Magic Official. This is officially episode 5 of season 7. And guys, I'm so happy about my ring light. It is 9:30 p.m. in the evening here. Usually I wouldn't be able to record a video because the light scenario, and now it can be any time and it changes the mood also. And speaking about mood, I'm feeling a bit romantic. There's a saying, let's romanticize our lives. Sometimes we put our happiness off. We put romance off. Why not seize not only our joy, but our pleasure and the beauty, the poetry, and the romanticism in our daily lives, moment by moment. That's the beauty about introducing the sacred and rituals into our lives. Everything becomes sacred when we look at it as a point of connection or as a point of celebration. It makes the small moments, takes them out of their trivialness and honors them by being fully present and almost like an act of devotion, celebrating them. So I'm feeling romantic. I'm happy about my ring light, and I've got my, okay. I think the next investment will be a, a mic. Or since I'm half Filipino, and actually yesterday I went to a birthday party of my dance teacher, of my tango teacher, and she had a singer there with a full-blown like karaoke set, speakers and disco lights. I was just like, again, the kid in me was like, oh my God, I want that. Why not coconut? Putting it on our manifestation list for Mel's Magic Official. Have a proper karaoke machine. How about that? But in the meantime, this is my singing bowl stick. Might as well. It serves us, okay? And the song, I'm sure you know this one. Yeah? So I'm singing it for you and for me. You'll remember me when the west wind moves upon the fields of barley. You'll forget the sun in his jealous sky as we walk in fields of gold. And so she took her love for to gaze a while upon the fields of barley. In his arms she fell as her hair came down among the fields of gold. And will you stay with me? Will you be my love upon the fields of barley? We'll forget the sun in his jealous sky as we lie in fields of gold. And see the west wind move like a lover's soul upon the fields of barley. Feel her body rise as you kiss her mouth among the fields of gold. I never made promises lightly, but there have been some that I've broken. But I swear in the days still left, we'll walk in fields of gold. We'll walk in fields of gold. And many years have passed since those summer days among the fields of barley. See the children run as the sun goes down among the fields of gold. And you'll remember me when the west wind moves upon the fields of barley. You can tell the sun in his jealous sky, and we walk in fields of gold. When we walked in fields of gold. When we walked in fields of gold. Ooh, a cappella. Okay, guys. You know, circling back to my last episode where I talked about the fool, if I would take myself too seriously, I would never do what I've just done. Like sing a cappella with like a crazy not even mic. I mean, I would die from like self-consciousness. But this fool archetype, liberating myself from the judgment of others and doing things for the sheer pleasure and enjoyment of it. And yeah, it liberates us. So, I even made a few mistakes in the song and I probably sang offbeat and a little bit out of tune, but does it matter in the larger scheme of things? I would nowadays feel more regret not having tried, not having sung, not having been brave like this than going all out and making mistakes with my cheesy, impromptu a cappella karaoke singing. See where I'm going at? So, again, allowing ourselves the grace of stepping to the unknown, of sitting with our discomfort also, because a lot of it has to do with nervous system regulation. It seriously does. So when we feel the jitters, okay, if we ground ourselves again and also go through the experience despite of the discomfort and afterwards realize, oh my God, I actually didn't die. Like my ego goes, oh, I'm still alive. And I'm like, yes, bravo. There's a lot we can survive. It gives us strength and resilience. And it's actually, I think there's a dopamine, in a good sense, addiction point to it where we sense that, I did it. I can do it again. And we keep on improving. And again, that's the point of just getting the ball rolling. So if you're hesitating to do something, whatever it is, you tell me in the comments box. If you've been hesitating on getting something started, just let it roll. Mistakes and all. And actually allow yourself, like I did with painting. I said, I was so blocked before to make a mistake, to make a shitty painting, to the point in which I told myself, Magic Mel, I officially grant you permission to make 100 shitty paintings. And I'm like, oh, they're allowed to be shit. And I said, no, they're actually meant to be shit. How about making shitty paintings? And of course, that actually never happened. Those paintings are part of that experiment. But the point of the exercise was to get myself out of this stuckness and this blockage that was basically like a huge critic in me, watching for the first misstep to go down on me in judgment and criticism. It's terrible how we talk to ourselves or the voices we give into. So the first step, I guess, is to actually discern that voice is talking to you, that you can disidentify from that voice. And then we have a lot of techniques as coaches to work with those voices. Again, little disclaimer, if you want some coaching, I'm a joy coach. I'm an integrative joy coach. We work with your entire being. We can help you discern those voices and relate to them differently so they don't pull the show all the time or play a show that you don't even want to be part of. Yeah, because it's putting you back in the driver's seat and putting the voice, give it a place that you feel better about. It's not necessarily about, getting rid of those voices. No, it's even honoring those voices, because those voices also help us. I told you once, how I work with my shadow. My shadow helps me as a contrapunto, as a counterpoint from which I can decide who I am and who I am not, who I choose to be and who I choose not to be. So let's not vilify those voices, the critic. They all have their place, but they're not necessarily the most benign steerers of our so-called soul vessel ship. Yeah? Okay, so in part of my, I was thinking earlier after last episode, I really do want to dive into more, because I'm a bit of a nerd at heart. I'm saying that lovingly. I love to learn. I'm always curious about things. And at the moment, I'm diving deep into Jungian psychology. It's just so fascinating, especially working with our unconscious, shadow integration, the alchemical journey of individuation. It's especially fascinating when you can relate the stages you've gone through in your own experience, your own journey, with the archetypal stories, with the archetypal journey. It gives you a sense that there is meaning to it all. It's not all in vain, that you are actually the hero of your own journey, you know? And it also gives you a sense of perspective that even the difficult, or because of the difficult times, you are undergoing a precious distillation, a process that is forging your soul. It's painful, but it's necessary. So it gives meaning to what we're going through. And honestly, we human beings, we can go through a lot, but a lot of pain and suffering, as long as it has some kind of meaning. If suffering loses its meaning, then it becomes real pointless hell. No? So I didn't know, I think I was too much in my head. I was like, okay, I really want to talk about what I learned about and what I processed from Eternalized, his videos, but then I'm like, I'm being too much in my head. And again, we're all flowing here. Mel's Magic Official is about being in the flow of joyful creation. And one way of me stepping out of my mind and into the flow again is to work with symbols and to work with imagery. And as you know, my Ley de la Atracción, my Law of Attraction deck, is full of beautiful illustrations. And I trust that the right images come out for the right story to be told. We can work with that. Yeah, it's playful. So should we do it? Vamos? I've got my table pulled out, so let's see if the cards actually fall on the table. That was my mom's advice. Pull out the table. I'm trying to be practical, guys. I'm really trying to be practical. But, sometimes also the solutions are right in front of our nose. It's this notion when you run around with your glasses on your head, like, where are my glasses? Where are my glasses? And like, oh my God, they're in my head. So the same thing. The solution was right in front of me. Just open the table. But it never occurred to me. That's why input, feedback is so valuable. Let's not shut ourselves off from well-meaning feedback. Okay? If you have any feedback for me, let me know also. If you think, anything we can improve on or other directions we can take, I love brainstorming. Okay, vamos. Connecting with our amazing Asga team, who is full of patience. All our angels, spirit guides, ancestors, gods and goddesses, patiently working behind the scenes for our greatest good. Connecting with you guys, connecting with our Asga team. And we would like to tell a little story, a 3-card story. What is the first card of the story that wants to be told right here, right now? Thank you so much. Do you like my sari? This sari is, my uncle used to be Hare Krishna, and I know as a kid, my mom and I went to see him. I can't remember what island in the Philippines it was, but we had to wear, a sari, and this was the one of my mom. So beautiful. It's like miles long. I can, just cocoon myself into it. I love the color, purple. Again, these are things, emotional value that I've decided to keep. And they're like portals, no? Objects that have emotional value to us. When we look at them or when we behold them, we step into that moment, that past memory. Okay, let's focus a little bit. Connecting with my intuition. My intuition is in my body, outside of the mind. That's why intuition is so important. That's why us connecting with our body, with our feeling. Our body is right here, right now. Our body is not in the future. It's like the feelings are here. And the feelings are access point to our unconscious beliefs or conscious beliefs, our thought processes. So let's honor our feelings and our beliefs. And also intuition obviously speaks to our body. Okay, first card is 7 Pentacles. Let's just look at the imagery, Mel. Don't intellectualize. I'm going to show it to you in a minute. I'm trying to make sense of it myself. Okay, first card is 7 of Pentacles, and you see a bunch of different chairs. It talks to me about, there is the archetype of a chair. So what does a chair serve as? It serves as something to sit on. But then there is the archetype of a chair, and then there's different kinds of chairs. So same, no, we are human beings, but we're all different. And look at the differences in chairs. One is more a little stool, one is maybe more kitchen, one is more of an office chairs. It speaks to me, it's like an invitation to ask yourself, what chair are you comfortable sitting on? What serves you? What kind of, in the sense, chair suits you? And that might be a trivial question, but if we apply it to the rest of our lives, or everything in our life actually, it's this constant process we're going through, like distillation. What serves us, what doesn't? What expresses the essence of me and what doesn't? For example, the clearing of my space, I did it because I wanted the space to reflect more of my energy, of what I feel resonates with me. So as within, so without. It goes, once we're intentional about things, our life becomes more integral, because with setting intentions and really connecting with what resonates, our outer life will be expression of our inner life. And that is so, so important, not to get swept away in the homogeneous commodification of life. That is actually killing the planet and us, because we're all trying to be the same and fit into a certain look and force ourselves into these really straitjackets that do not honor our individual beauty, the beauty of the imperfection of who you are. So by honoring your individual gusto, you give expression of your essence outside of yourself. So which chair resonates with you? How do you approach choices? Are you intentional with the way you use money? Are you intentional with your relationships, who you surround yourself with? Are you intentional with what you allow into your space? This also talks to me about space, no? Furniture. Somebody, an important person told me, 2018, Melanie, watch your space. And back then, it resonated intuitively, but I didn't quite understand it until much later. And now I'm like, okay, I need to watch my mental space, what kind of thoughts I allow into my space, my physical space, because objects also hold energy, my, obviously, relationship space, what energies I allow, what kind of relationships I want to engage with or I have energy for. All of that requires some discernment and some distilling. And it's important because at each choice point, you're choosing yourself, no? Who you express yourself as to be, who you identify as. And in the end, it makes up your sense of self. So it's important. Yeah. So that was first card. Second card, please. Thank you so much. The Asgard team. Second. Oh, that came. Oh, and it landed on the table. I'm just like realizing as I see the two cards. Landing on the table, guys. Again, ring light table. We're getting pro. We are pro. Not getting. We are pro. Okay, this one's a little bit easier to decipher, I guess. This is the Nine of Cups. And you see several hands, like an equipo, a team, holding up this trophy into the sky, bright sunlight. I mean, talking about celebration, no? It really speaks to me about this wish and hope, not even hope, because hope is where we're hoping but not sure of it, no? This dream that we're bringing to life, each one of us here, as we embody and live out the new paradigm, no? Trusting the new energy, coming back to ourselves, connecting with ourselves, trusting our intuition, and co-creating with the divine and with other people on a similar frequency. It's this co-creation, the sense of we're doing this together. We're celebrating life together. We appreciate life together, because at the end of the day, we are relational beings. No? We perhaps got so traumatized by our core relationships as we grew up, but even that material has served its purpose to forge us, to help us alchemize, learn the process of alchemy, of alchemizing our energy, our trauma, our pain into higher vibrations, into liberated energy. And so many of us are doing this at the same time. This channel alone proves it. No, we're not alone, guys. We're doing this together. And wins, there's one thing in obviously celebrating yourself for each and every win, and doesn't have to be a big thing. It can be these small internal processes, choice points that are so important. That's an internal win that you celebrate with yourself. But another beautiful thing is to actually do it with people, like-minded people, your tribe, working on something together, collaborating, and jointly together celebrating a new creation or new project, a new win, achievement together. Because it's in the journey of doing this together that we realize how far we've come, what it has taken, and that we're not alone. We're not alone, guys. That's also the beautiful message that I'm feeling in myself. And also when I also watch a lot of other channels. It's this message that, hey, we are not alone anymore. Maybe in the past, we had the sense of doing all of this internal work alone and really questioning, am I the only one going through this? And we were all questioning at the same time, oh my God, am I doing this on my own? And now we're like, oh, there's a tribe, there's more of us, there's a whole there's a whole team out there doing this. And isn't that encouraging? Isn't that something to celebrate? That we're all doing this work together? Magic Mel says, hell yeah. Vale, third card. Third card, please. Thank you, Asgard team. What is another aspect of this story? At the end of the day, these short stories are all different aspects and facets of the grand story that Magic Mel likes to tell here, which is one of empowerment and coming back home to ourselves, the journey of individuation. So choosing the right chair that resonates with you, that you feel comfortable in as a metaphor, is important. Celebrating your wins, celebrating with people who understand you, where you can feel safe in expressing yourself, is something to celebrate, something beautiful, something joyful. And it's all another step of our journey coming back into our sovereignty, our spiritual sovereignty and empowerment. Yeah, we had this guy before. That's the King of Pentacles. Remember this dude? So you see the King of Pentacles diligently working on his paperwork, admin, and taking stock of his money in the safe behind. And he looks a little bit, what do you think, guys? He looks a bit tired. It's like the end of the workday is like, oh my God, I can't see any more of these papers. The numbers are all like in my brain. So, as I connect with this card and look at this character, he's almost envious of us having fun and being in joy, because he realizes actually that the money alone, and I do not want to discount money, I honor money, I respect money, I welcome money, but it's not the end all. And how often have we put the proverbial ladder of success against the wrong wall, thinking that the conventional path to success is something that we need to strive for or accomplish, only to realize at the end of the day that these accolades don't actually fulfill us. Money itself is a symbol. It's the currency that symbolizes a certain set of agreements that we've all agreed on, in the sense that this coin is a valuable or an agreed upon symbol of exchange that we can trade with. Unfortunately, nowadays, we've gone a little bit too far in terms of thinking that anything can be exchanged for money, and that is not true. Money will never fill you up in the same way that your own connection with yourself can fill you up and bring you joy. Money can never substitute teamwork and collaboration and the sense of fulfillment that comes towards, striving, working on a joint goal together as a collective of conscious, empowered beings. Money won't do that for you. Money will only, just like any relationship in our lives, the way I like to look at money, and I'm still working on it because I had a lot of trauma attached with money. I was crazy. I didn't even realize I had so many limiting beliefs. in relation to money, but money can be an expression and an amplifier of the abundance that we already are. Take away money, put it on one side, and realize that you're already abundant, whole, worthy being, infinitely creative, and infinitely powerful. Now, the way we function nowadays, and that might change, that's changing already. We use money as a terms of trading, no? And money can be a good way of showing what you choose to invest in, because money symbolizes, investment of time and energy. So if we are already abundant and we receive money, we can amplify that abundance and amplify the generosity. That's how I like to look at money. But I don't look at it as it's a means to an end, not the end itself. And even this means it's changing, because as sacred economies, the notion of sacred economy is materializing and landing on the planet more and more. I mean, it's not something that we actually invented. It's been around for like ages. We just forgot about it. Eventually, I feel like the gift will be, it will not need the intermediary of money. But for the time being, we're transitioning. We can imbue money with a new energy, a new frequency of abundance. For example, those of you who donated to my channel, I so appreciate it, because honestly, the money goes into like equipment and I told you, I'm winging it. Like I stopped my Airbnb because I asked myself, does it really light me up and bring me joy? Or am I still doing it out of fear or obligation, or like a sense of obligation or a sense of limitation also, like in the sense of, well, I don't know how would money come in other ways? And I really had to work through that. So all to say that, for example, you donating to my channel, it's a sign of appreciation, a sign of you investing your currency of money into something you believe in, which I guess is, in this case, Mel's Magic Official with the donations. It's an amplifier. You know, it's beautiful things can be created from that. So it's never the tool itself. The tool itself is neutral. The internet is neutral. Money is neutral. But what it comes down to is, where are we coming from? What intention are we coming from? What kind of energy are we coming from? Greed, fear, abundance, joy. That is what makes the difference. So it's a reminder not to vilify the tool, but to question, our starting point. Okay? So our King of Pentacles, let's have some compassion for him and actually talk to him like, hey, close your documents, close that vault, take your specs off, shake a little bit, put on some music, go out into nature, take a walk, connect with beautiful nature, and ask yourself and remind yourself, what is it that truly matters? At the end of the day, what is it that truly matters? It's a good question we can ask ourselves continuously when we get overwhelmed in our plans in our head, when we lose our direction, when we lose track of what is even important in our lives. You know, it's this constant sifting. That's why, guys, we all went through, what was the last new moon? I forgot already, but you know, this invitation to look at what's really important for us, our values, to get out of this option paralysis. We constantly have to look at that list and remind ourselves. And obviously, it's something dynamic, just like we are dynamic. Nothing is fixed. So it can be adapted and edited with time, but it does take a constant conscious revision. I'm telling you the same like I'm telling myself, okay? So how is that for a little 3-card inspired story or reflections? And more like reflections today, no? Let me know if anything resonates. I'm loving this evening light. I'm super happy. It's 10 o'clock now and I can still record videos. So I'm super, super happy. And let's call it a day with this video. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate every one of you. If you like my videos, please like. It really does help my channel to expand and to reach more people. Share with anyone who you feel might resonate. And if you feel like giving a donation, you know that Magic Mel super appreciates it, okay? email me for coaching, email me for tarot readings, and stay tuned, guys, for the next episode. I'm so joyful and happy to express myself like this with you, connect with you like this. Okay? Ciao, bandidos.